All right, we are excited to be joined by FanDuel's Kent Padgett this week as we get ready for the first round of the college football playoff. Gets underway this weekend. Kent, thanks for joining, man. How you doing?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Very excited for football. It's been
Absolutely, man.
kind of
It's
a
a great
long two
time of
weeks
year.
off. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. There are a million things to talk about. We are going to focus mainly on Oregon to start. Obviously, this game against JMU, but we'll get into some bigger college football playoff discussions afterwards. But this first round game against JMU is interesting. It's widely believed that Oregon is going to roll. I don't know that I've seen anyone pick the Dukes so far. I think the bigger question is about the number. 20 and a half is what it opened at, 21 and a half now. Initially, I thought that that wasn't nearly going to be enough points, but I don't know. You can kind of look at it both ways, and it seems around the right mark. How do you feel about that number and kind of what your initial thoughts are on this game?
Yeah, games like this are always tough because you have the feeling it's going to be a blowout. But then it also begs the question, does Oregon their first half they're going to have the effort, they're going to get up 2-3 scores, but how long does that effort stay? How long do the stars stay in the game? So you always fear of like the backdoor cover if there's garbage time points and all that. And so it's really hard to tell. Like you can sit there and think, all right, Oregon is 21 points better, but are they going to stay 21 points better late in the fourth quarter? It's hard to say. Um, but one of those, it's like also just because there's a big spread, don't take them lightly.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one of those things, like I've said it a lot, like Oregon can win this game by as much as they want to win this game, I think. And so you'll see if they want to rest some starters late. We had an idea throughout most of the season that, Oregon covered a lot of spreads because even when they put their backups in, their backups were still really good and wanted to prove something. So it's not like they were going to lose that much of a level, but now I don't know that you have as much to prove, and kind of everyone wants to get that rest. You feel the same way?
Yeah, and I think this is a really good opportunity for them. Like when we talk about the rest thing, I honestly
Mhm.
think the 5 seed is a more advantageous spot than the 4 seed would have been, where
Oh yeah.
Texas Tech is. Because when you think about it, this is a tune up game. This is getting, you're in your home stadium against, no offense to James Madison here, but they haven't played anybody all year. And there's a reason the spread's over 3 touchdowns. But if Oregon had gotten a bye, they don't play again until New Year's. Their last game was November 29th. That's over a month
Yeah.
off. So when we talk about rest, it's like, all right, let our guys get in, get the reps, knock the rust off, and then if you're up 3 scores, hop out of the game in the fourth quarter. No need to risk injury. I think they're in a great spot to play the rest game as much or as little as they want to, and it's an advantage that Texas Tech doesn't have. I'm looking forward to the next round.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Oregon was in that Texas Tech spot last year against Ohio
And
State. They watched Ohio State get that tune-up game against Tennessee, and then I mean they were slow out of the gates. Oregon was slow out of the gates in the Rose Bowl, and
that's
that
what happened.
that led to the blowout. I still think that Ohio State probably wins that game last year, even without the rest, because they were that good. But it definitely didn't help.
That's right. I completely agree with you. Ohio State last year, and I kind of feel the same way this year. I think they are once again a wagon, and
Mhm.
they came in last year with the loss to Michigan. They're coming in this year with the loss to Indiana.
Yeah.
They're still a wagon, but the good news for Oregon is this time they're on the opposite side of the bracket, so
Yeah,
don't
like you
see them
said,
till the
that
Natty.
five seed. Oregon fans were very happy to see that five seed. Once they saw Indiana or Ohio State and Georgia on the other side, it's like, okay, this is doable at least to get to the championship. All due
That's
respect
right.
to the teams on their side.
All due respect, and especially to Indiana, who did beat Oregon earlier this year,
Hmm.
but they say tough to beat the same team twice. This time it'll be neutral field. Been a couple of months, got some film on them. Dan Lanning will be fired up. So given the options, like if you were to ask me to rank, who would you rather face in the semifinals, Indiana, Ohio State, or Georgia? I would have
Easy.
number one as Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. All right, we're going to play a quick game called What's Your Wager? I'm going to give you a few groups of prop bets, and you tell me which one stands out to you, which one you would rather take. That sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're going to start with a quick one. 4 touchdowns to be scored in each half. That's plus 30, plus 430. Or JMU to not score a touchdown in the entire game, plus 500.
Ooh, okay, I'm gonna lean towards. Gosh,
That's kind
I
of a
could
tough
see a
one.
shutout happening. This is a tough one. All right, I'm gonna go with it was 4 touchdowns. What was it? 4 touchdowns per
Four
half.
touchdowns to be scored in each half at plus 430. Or
Okay.
JMU shutout, plus 500.
All
Which
right, so
seems
let's think
low
about
for a
it.
shutout.
Yeah, it really does. let's think about, okay, if there's 4 touchdowns, theoretically, 3 are Oregon, maybe JMU gets 1.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to say there's going to be the halftime score will be 28-7. Oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, let's just say this: 28-7 at the half, and then in the second half, 3 more touchdowns from Oregon and 1 from JMU, like late in the fourth quarter. So we're looking at like 49-14.
Yeah, 49-14.
Which is still a 35-point spread. I like that. Okay, given the options though, because the shutout scares me.
That's tough. That's so hard to do.
They could just cherry pick a field goal or something, just get on the board before the half or something.
Well, so actually, I guess it's just on FanDuel, it's not to score a touchdown. So maybe not just a shutout that gives you the field goal. That's why it's probably so low. You can give them, 6.9 points by field goals.
Yeah,
that makes that one more enticing, actually.
I could see them in the first half just trying to get on the board for morale purposes.
Yeah,
we're talking about them like they are such a bad team, but
it's tough. I mean, we've dove into this game a lot, and it's a fine line between disrespectful and like realistic, and it's just, you kind of got to be realistic. They don't have the same talent on their team
and haven't faced anywhere close to a Power 4 schedule. I think their only team they faced in the top
Louisville was the only Power 4 game, and they lost by 14.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, I want to go to some player props. I want to start with the first touchdown scored. These are always some juicy bets. So who are you taking? Kenyon Sadiq at -155, Jordan Davison at -135, Noah Whittington at -130, or Malik Benson at +135. Those are the top 4 odds on the board.
I don't want to go chalk with Sadiq, even though he's an absolute stud. So give me what were the numbers on the running backs again?
Davison -135, Whittington -130, and then De'Aaron Hill isn't, and he's at +210.
Let's go Whittington at 130.
I think that's probably the best bet. I was surprised to see Sadiq like the heavy favorite here.
Yeah, and I honestly haven't looked into like what JMU gives up, but I mean the middle of the field must be wide open for tight ends. I don't know, but I could see. I always, in these first touchdown bets, I always just trust the running backs, because anytime I go against the running back, they get down to the 1 and pound it right in. So let's go with that.
I saw that Dante Moore was also, I didn't write it down, I think he was +250 or +300 too. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's used his legs a little bit late in this season, right. So he could be a good candidate for that too. Let's look at some over-unders. Which do you want? Dante Moore over 233.5 passing yards, Kenyon Sadiq over 57.5 receiving yards, or Noah Whittington over 82.5 rushing yards?
Let's go with Whittington again over on the rushing yards. The Moore number just scares me because I don't know how many times he's going to drop back to pass in the second half, and then that also plays into Sadiq's number. But let's go Whittington there. Just if the game script follows the way I'm expecting it to, there's going to be a lot of running the ball in the second half and stable of running backs that'll split carries, but I still think he's probably going to bust one in the first half.
Also, some heavy rain expected in Eugene too. So, I mean, Oregon's used to playing in that, but I think that's going to lead to more run game in the second half.
I did not know about the rain, but that's good to know.
Yeah, it's going to be raining pretty heavily. It's raining outside right now, and I'm in Eugene, and I don't think it's supposed to let up anytime soon.
Yeah, wow.
All right, the last one here for the quick bets. I want to talk about alternate spread. We talked about how we thought this was going to be a blowout. Obviously, the line sits at 21.5 right now. If you could, where would you place this line?
I would actually go up closer to 25, 26. I don't have the numbers in front of me to see where
I'm pulling them up right now. Trying to. Go ahead.
I just remember last year in the playoff, there was the favorites dominated, and I can't unsee back then, but it was like I think it was Notre Dame over Indiana, actually, then Penn State over SMU, and you just had a feeling like, oh, these guys are starting to flex their muscle, the big dogs are, and I think a lot of that same formula will apply to this year, where we've talked about Oregon sitting their guys in the second half, but I think they're going to absolutely jump on them. And so a 4-touchdown victory doesn't seem out of the question. So if you can get that spread, depending on like up to 26.5, something like that, I think you're
26.5 is +164, 27.5 +186. I was very curious. What did I write down?
I wouldn't mind at 27.5, really.
Yeah, 27. I wrote down 30.5, which is plus 255. You can win by 31. I don't think that's out of the question. I think if they're going to win big, they're going to win big. I don't see this. I think it's going to either be around that 20 number or like 35, 30, north
I'm
of
with
30.
you. I'm with you. I could see them just pouring it on.
Yeah. Oregon is currently plus 850 to win it all. I'm curious how you think that number changes if they win this game in the first round. I feel like the biggest movement would be after the next game if they were to beat Texas Tech and get to the semifinals. But do you think that number is going to change at all? I mean, depending how they look this weekend?
I don't. I think it's already priced in that they're winning the game. Them
Mhm.
and Texas Tech are both plus 850 right now. And looking ahead, that line is Texas Tech minus 1.5 hypothetically right now, assuming Oregon does win the game.
Mhm.
I think the change would come from knocking off Texas Tech. And, maybe Oregon, if they go out and win by 30 to 40 or more, that line might move just a little bit from 850 maybe down to 800. But I think the fact that they see them and Texas Tech as about equal right now, I think
Mhm.
that's the game where their odds would go down. But yeah, I'm with you on the line moving. I just think it's I watch that stuff too, but I think it's built in already that they're beating
Makes sense.
JMU.
If you were, to look at the bigger college football playoff landscape, who is your best championship pick? Who do you think is going to win it all, and who do you think is the best value on the board right now?
Honestly, I still think Ohio State's going to win it all. I
Yeah,
mean, I was kind of shocked watching the game against Indiana, but and I know they're chalk. I think they're what plus 130 right now, so it's not like as
FanDuel
much
right now
value.
plus 195, Indiana
Oh,
plus 310. Yeah,
oh,
so it
okay.
went
So
up.
that's
So it's even a better bet for you.
much better bet. Then I don't feel crazy taking like a dead even line. But yeah, I still
Yeah.
think it's Ohio State, and I think like last year they used the loss to their advantage, rebuild, and that's just the team that I'd be most scared of if I'm in the
Hmm.
playoffs. So I do think I mean I like Oregon's path the best. I think they have the best path, but I think ultimately the best team's going to win.
I
But as far
agree.
as making a run, I'm
Yeah,
confident Oregon can make a run in this.
I agree. I'm looking at Georgia at plus 600. I think they're much closer to Indiana, and Ohio State should be up in there like the plus 300 range. Um, Jay Stu and I put out our brackets yesterday. I've got Georgia beating Oregon in the championship. I think they're going to do. I've got them beating Ohio State too.
That game
That's
is
the
going to
number
be
that intrigues me.
that's the game right there. That's like I think Ohio State struggles most with Georgia, even more. And I know Indiana just beat them, but I don't think they pulled out everything in the playbook against Indiana to win the
Totally,
Big Ten championship.
totally.
And I think Georgia's the team closest to them that can give them most of a run. So and also Ohio State's path is dangerous. Like the winner of Miami A&M,
It's a good
that's
team.
a tough game. So we're gonna
Yeah.
if they are the best team, we'll know it. They have a gauntlet to go through.
Mhm.
But I do think they're the scariest team.
It's exactly what they did last year too. Like they beat some of the best teams along the way. They beat Oregon, they beat Texas, beat Notre Dame. It's like, all right, you really earned that championship. If they
That's
do it
right.
this year, again, it's like you did not have an easy path. You guys did it. You earned it.
I know. And I look at their team, it's like they lost a lot, but there's Caleb Downs, Jeremiah, Julian
They're still so
Sand.
young.
They're
Yeah.
still
Bo
so young. Bo
Jackson.
Bo Jackson, like what a name
God,
also. But
I know, seriously.
this whole group, like that main three on offense, Sayan Smith and Bo Jackson, they're all gonna be back next year. Like
That's scary.
there's a
It's
three-peat
very scary.
possibility here. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Hope it doesn't happen. But all right, I want to end with this. I want to have you create a line for me, if you will. One of the biggest
Okay.
topics of the year in Eugene has been about Dante Moore, whether he would stay next year or go to the NFL. It's shifted a bit. I'd say probably about a month ago. I have personally felt very confident all year that he'd be back. But about a month ago or more recently, just for various reasons, like coordinators leaving, he very well could be the number one overall pick if he does declare. I want to see what you think as far as setting a line on him staying or going. Like, what would it be? So, like, Dante Moore leaves is minus what or plus what? He stays is plus what? What do you think?
Yeah, first off, do they have anything I haven't seen
I
anything
don't
like this,
think
so
so.
I'm
I
going
would love this
completely off
line
the
though.
dome here. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
did the same thing.
I think this would probably be a juicy one, but I think based on the fact that Sellers is coming back, I saw Maava at USC is coming back to school. Arch is
Arch
obviously
coming
coming
back.
back.
Hmm.
It's gonna be like a two-horse race between him and Mendoza for the number one pick.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me think he could be gone. So I think it's based on the other quarterbacks in the draft or that have already said they're coming back to school. I think it'd be smart for him to go ahead and throw his hat into the ring and go pro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say minus 145 that he leaves Oregon.
That he leaves. Wow. Okay. What would you put
and
him
I've
at
also
staying?
seen, something else. I've seen Oregon, and maybe this was just talk on, On3 in some of these places, but keep seeing that logo pop up next to guys like Levitt and Raiola as they hit the portal. And I feel like if the folks in the know were thinking Moore's coming back, you're not seeing a Texas Longhorns logo on any of those graphics. You're seeing the O on every single one. So I think there's already a sense that he's going to go ahead pro, knows he's going to be one of the top 2 picks among quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I lean that he's going to head on out. But listen, in the NIL age, if he gets a grade and they say, no, you're not going till the second round, he could get $5 million probably in NIL.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
like,
4 to 5 million for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the case with a lot of these like sellers and these guys. They probably got 5 at least. And you're like, heck yeah, I'm taking that. Another year of development.
Yeah, I feel slightly different than you, though not as confident. I've got Dante staying at like minus 110.
Oh,
And
really?
then I've
Okay.
got Dante leaving at like plus 175. Maybe it's a homer pick. I'm from Oregon. I went to Oregon. Like, I want to believe that he will stay and come back for another year. I think his decision to go from UCLA to Oregon and sit for a year shows me that he values that development so much, and he knows he's not ready for the NFL. He's got I think almost 19 starts in college before going to the NFL. Like, that's not enough. We know that's not enough. And he values that second contract in the NFL where you're making 40 million a year instead of making like 7 million a year. So I don't know. I still think he stays, but I think it also has to do with how he performs in the playoff. If they have a great run and they go win a championship, like, yeah, he's probably going to go. But if they get bounced in the second round by Texas Tech and he maybe doesn't have his best game, I think he might return and try and do this all over again.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to both sides, but I do think it'll be interesting to see how he performs in the playoff.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's wrap it up there. Thank you, Kent, for taking the time with us today. We really appreciate you sitting down with us. Go enjoy the fun weekend of college football playoff action. We'll hope to talk to you again soon.
Same to you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, good stuff there with Kent. Really enjoyed, kind of getting an outside perspective, someone who's more into like the numbers, the betting analysis, the spreads, all of that. Don't love to see to hear his enthusiasm about Ohio State and their chance to win it all and potentially even three-peat. That's a little bit scary, but we'll see if Oregon can stop that this year, or maybe even Georgia. So, like I said earlier, we will be back on probably this weekend or early next week to wrap up things and look ahead, hopefully, to that Texas Tech game. But until then, you can check out more of my work at duckswire.usatoday.com. Follow me at Zachary C. Neel on Twitter. We'll have all of this stuff up there as well. Social clips, some promotional stuff. So, like I said, we will talk to you this weekend or early next week. Until then, take it easy.